going to heave one. Is Beckham a one-handed catch? How in the world?
Oh my goodness. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
And with that, the legend of Odell Beckham Jr. was born. But how did we get here? The story of Odell Cornelius Beckham Jr., yes, that's his real name, begins at the same place as every other elite wide receiver, LSU. No, but seriously, how do they keep producing star wide receiver after star wide receiver? At LSU, Odell was already making it clear he was special, making plays such as this.
Play action. Mettenberger with time. He's going to launch it for Beckham Jr. And he goes up and comes down with it.
Or this crazy one-handed kickoff return catch with no reaction at all.
Gary gave one for the team last night. He wanted to talk personally to Cam Cameron.
Wow, nice catch.
Yeah, it was.
Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
The kid was special, and on the night of May 8th, 2014, his dream of making the NFL was about to become a reality.
With the 12th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Odell Beckham, wide receiver, LSU.
But a dream come true wasn't the only thing Odell received on draft night. He also received harsh criticism from the media basically the second he got drafted. Giants fans were immediately upset with the selection, claiming that the front office should have used the pick to draft a defensive lineman, a big concern of theirs. In fact, Giants fans and football fans everywhere were already labeling the Odell pick as a draft mistake, even though he hadn't even stepped onto an NFL field for anything yet. But this didn't faze Odell. He used it as fuel and began working hard right away to prove to the Giants and football fans everywhere that he wasn't a mistake. Right? Not quite. The night he got drafted, he was seen partying with Drake and Johnny Manziel. Definitely not the two greatest people to be seen with, to be honest. And Odell's rookie season didn't get off to a hot start, however, as he tore his hamstring during training camp, which put him out the first 4 weeks of the regular season. But week 5 of the regular season came around and Odell was ready to play. He was ready to show people what he's capable of and that he was not a draft mistake. And OBJ went out there and balled, catching multiple passes, drawing multiple penalties, and his first career touchdown.
It's coming. Manning goes for Beckham Jr.
Topping it off with a solid celebration as well. Odell had finally done it. He had proven to Giants fans that he was the right pick. He was finally ready to take over the league and show his dominance. Oh. Maybe he still had some work to do. As well as the entire Giants team as a whole. They lost that game 27-0 and lost star wide receiver Victor Cruz for the entire season in that game. But hey, if losing Cruz would help anything, it would be Odell's stats. And boy did Odell really begin to shine. His performance from week 9 to week 17 was one of the most dominating runs in NFL history. There wasn't a single game in this stretch with under 100 receiving yards. In this span, he averaged 9 receptions for 133 yards and a whole touchdown. Yes, averaged. And he of course finished everything off winning Rookie of the Year, but this wasn't the best thing to happen in his rookie year. His best moment came in a week 12 game against the Cowboys. Yes, I already showed you guys, but it's so cool that I just have to show you again.
And Manning's going to heave one. Is Beckham a one-handed catch?
No, but seriously, how did he catch that? He caught it with 3 fingers. That should not be humanly possible. With that catch, Odell became the talk of the country practically overnight. I don't know about you guys, but I remember always trying to make one-handed catches after seeing this, and every time I did, I would yell his name. Literally everybody wanted to be like him. So Odell was basically a celebrity at this point, and he acted like one. He did everything from chilling with David Beckham, doing a Dude Perfect video, and setting the Guinness World Record for most one-handed catches. The dude was an icon. Odell went into the 2015 season with the whole world watching him, and he lived for the fame. He exploded with 96 catches for 1,450 yards and 13 touchdowns that year, getting him selected to the Pro Bowl for the 2nd straight year. But something was different this year. It wasn't that Odell was playing bad. He looked just as good, if not better than the year prior, but he was having some other issues, some emotional control issues. He practically had a ticking time bomb. And he exploded and showed his anger issues to the world in week 15 of the 2015 season, when the New York Giants went up against the Carolina Panthers. In this game, Odell had to go up against one of the best cornerbacks in the league in Josh Norman. Now, if you've never heard of Josh Norman, I don't blame you. He was a one-season wonder in this 2015 season, where he finished first-team All-Pro, but along with being one of the best cornerbacks in the league in 2015, he was also one of the best trash talkers and instigators. So this Sunday night matchup was a war. Just 2 minutes into the game, they get tangled up in a play, and just 2 more minutes after that, they get feisty again. We are about 4 minutes into the game, and the tension between these two is already through the roof. Also, for some reason, there has yet to be a flag on either of them. At this point, they need an official just dedicated to watching the two of them. And it wasn't until the third quarter, when the Giants were down 35-7, when Odell made his first catch of the day. He had really been getting locked up to this point, and it's clear that it was getting to him. He could barely go a play without taking some cheap shots at Norman. And late in the third quarter, OBJ broke. On a running play, Norman gave him a shove to the face, and Odell came bulldozing back and causing a dangerous helmet-to-helmet collision. Somehow, he didn't get ejected though. And he played surprisingly well in the fourth quarter as the Giants completely closed the 35-7 deficit, tying it up with this Odell touchdown, accompanied by this disrespectful step over. They would eventually go on to lose that game 38-35, but losing that game was the least of the Giants' concerns. Odell and his problems were a major concern. But hey, going into the 2016 season, Odell had a couple of good things going for him. For starters, he began dating model Amber Rose before talking to Khloe Kardashian, and then going back to Amber Rose after. And more football related, he was on the cover of Madden 16. So going into the 2016 season, Odell had a lot of hype surrounding him. He was being drafted in the top 2 in majority of fantasy drafts. And he didn't disappoint. He finished the season with 1,367 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, and a Pro Bowl selection for the third year in a row. Odell looked incredible, and he finally figured out how to control his anger issues. Oh wait, no he didn't. During a Week 3 game against the Washington Redskins, Beckham got into a fight with the kicking net and lost. But wait, that is not the end of the net story. Later in the season, Beckham made amends with the net, giving it a hug and a kiss after catching a touchdown pass against the Packers. And I guess their relationship continued to grow more and more, until he took the bit a step further, proposing to the kicking net after a game-winning touchdown catch against the Ravens. The net gave Beckham the response he wanted, apparently. Yeah, I'll talk about something else now. But on a positive note, the Giants finished the season with 11 wins and 5 losses while being an outstanding 7-1 at home, clinching themselves a playoff spot for the first time since 2011. This was about to be Odell's first playoff experience, so he was probably working his butt out to prepare for it, right? Well, not quite. Actually, not at all. In fact, just about a week before the Giants were going to play the Packers in the playoffs, Beckham, along with some of his teammates, decided to take a small detour in the week prior to the game. They went on a boat trip in Miami with a bunch of celebrities such as Justin Bieber, Trey Songz, and Beyonce. There were so many questions surrounding this trip. Like, what is this random group of people? Or why is everyone wearing boots? Seriously though, what is with them all wearing boots? But most importantly, what are they even doing there? The Giants have a playoff game in a week, and they're just chilling on a yacht? But as long as the Giants went into Green Bay and won, this would all fade away. Yeah, they lost badly. They took a 38-13 beating, and it seemed like Eli Manning was the only player who played semi-decently, who interestingly enough wasn't on the boat. The Giants were the laughingstock of the NFL, and they were never the same after that. The next season they finished 3-13. No fault to Odell for that though, as in week 5, he got an ankle fracture, forcing him to sit out the rest of the season. The 2018 season wasn't much better, as the Giants finished 5-11, but Odell played well, finishing with over 1,000 yards, along with hitting one of the greatest celebrations in history in the Giants' Week 3 game against the Eagles.
Offense number 13. The score counts.
So the Giants have their second touchdown of the season, their first of the day.
And this is what he had to say about it in his post-game interview.
When I scored a touchdown, I'm a dog, so I act like a dog.
2018 was a good season for Odell, and he signed a 5-year, $90 million contract with the New York Giants, including a $20 million signing bonus. But at the end of the 2018 season, Odell wasn't happy. This Giants team was not great, and he wanted to go somewhere he could compete. And on March 12, 2019, the Cleveland Browns rang up the phone and gave the Giants right guard Kevin Zeitler, safety Jabril Peppers, the number 17 and number 95 overall picks in the draft for Odell Beckham Jr. Baker Mayfield had just come off a good rookie season with the Browns, and they were hoping that Odell could take Baker and their offense to the next level. On paper, the Browns' offense looked good, led by the big four of Odell, Mayfield, Landry, and Chubb. They were ready to compete. And in his Browns debut, Beckham grabbed the attention of the NFL world, not for his play, but rather his apparel. During the Week 1 contest against the Titans, he was seen wearing a Richard Mille watch valued at nearly 190 grand. But the Browns season didn't go too hot, as Baker Mayfield struggled, only throwing for 22 touchdowns while recording 21 interceptions. But once more, Odell looked good, crossing 1,000 yards yet again. But of course, Odell still had his same anger issues. In week 2, he was asked to leave the game for wearing an illegal visor, and he didn't take that very lightly. In week 4, he got into a little brawl with Ravens cornerback Marlon Humphrey, and just a week later, Beckham is once again cautioned by officials, this time for wearing illegal cleats. And on December 22nd, Beckham was filmed arguing with Browns head coach Freddie Kitchens during a loss to the Ravens. Kitchens was fired by the Browns a week later. The one thing going for Odell was he was staying relatively healthy. He suffered a few small injuries here and there, but he was on the field for majority of the games. However, that was unfortunately about to change for the star receiver. In 2020, the Browns and Odell got off to a hot start at 3-1, but in week 5, tragedy struck. Odell tore his ACL, ending his season, but Odell was still doing Odell things off the field. He attended the College Football National Championship, where his school LSU defeated the Clemson Tigers, and as a joke, Beckham handed large amounts of cash to Tigers players on the field. He reportedly received a 2-year ban from school facilities as part of LSU's self-imposed penalties, and I have to admit, that's pretty funny. In addition to the post-game money scandal, Beckham faced a simple battery charge after he was seen on video slapping the butt of a police officer in LSU's locker room. Beckham's attorney later said the arrest warrant has been canceled as the officer no longer wanted to pursue the case. So week 4 of the 2021 season came around and Odell was ready to play, but his return wasn't the grand entrance everyone was hoping for. It was one of his worst games ever as he recorded just 1 catch for 6 yards. I don't know if you've realized this yet, but Odell gets mad when he doesn't get the ball. But this time, it wasn't just him that was mad. His father posted videos all over Instagram where Odell was open, but Mayfield didn't get him the ball with the caption, #FreeOBJ. It was clear Odell wanted out of Cleveland, and Cleveland wanted him out too. But the problem was, not a single team wanted him. His injury history, anger issues, and massive contracts couldn't get them anything for him. And on November 8th, 2021, the Cleveland Browns decided to cut their losses and cut OBJ, eating up his massive cap contract for absolutely nothing. But free agency might have been the best thing to ever happen to Odell, as 2 championship contending teams were interested in him, the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Rams. In the end, Beckham decided to sign with the Rams and finish the season with them, and he looked pretty good. Minus the fact that he punched Chuck Clark in the butt after the Baltimore safety picked off a Matthew Stafford pass. Odell was ready to appear in the playoffs for only the 2nd time in his career. But there was a slight problem. And no, not like the boat party before. When conducting a physical on Odell, the Rams doctors found out that Odell didn't have an ACL. Doctors told him that he needed surgery on it, otherwise he would be on the verge of collapsing every play. But Odell wanted to play. He wanted redemption after making a mistake last time, so he played through it, and he was crucial to the Rams winning the Super Bowl as he started off the game with a touchdown. But then it happened. During a routine play, Odell collapsed on the field because his leg couldn't take the pressure anymore. But he had done all he needed to as the Rams went on and won the Super Bowl. I truly believe that they couldn't have done it without him. And Odell was nothing short of excited about winning a Super Bowl.
Me and my safe.
You would think that this would be the end of the story of Odell, but his passion for football drew him back to the game. Although he had to sit out the entirety of the 2022 season, he came back in 2023, signing with the Baltimore Ravens, where he had a pretty solid and healthy season with them. And this year marked Odell's 11th year in the NFL, where he will be playing for the Miami Dolphins, a playoff contender. What do you guys think the chances are that Odell gets his 2nd ring with the Dolphins? OBJ is honestly one of the most misunderstood players in the NFL. His career has been plagued by injury after injury, but he has never given up on his love of football. And the dude is just hilarious. He's gone out and done whatever he wants to, from cold plunges with Kevin Hart, interviews with Lil Wayne, and potentially more recently dating Kim Kardashian, which could be his 2nd Kardashian. The dude is a star on and off the field. Every time Odell stepped on the field, it was going to be a show. And although he probably won't be a Hall of Famer, Odell will always be remembered as one of the greats. That's all I got for this video. Thank you guys so much if you made it to this point. And if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.